What's up, guys? Welcome to The Camera Adds 10 Pounds. I'm your host, Peter Surs. What's up? Before we start, as you guys know, this podcast is brought to you by my good friends at perfectshaker.com. They have all of your fitness accessory needs. I have been working with them for 7, 8 years. They have shaker cups, they have meal prep bags, meal prep containers, pill containers, workout towels, all kind of cool toys that you can use for the fitness lover in your life. If you want to go check them out, go to perfectshaker.com, enter the promo code 10 pounds, the word 10, the word pounds. You will save 15% off of your order. And as also, this podcast is brought, and as always, this podcast is also brought to you by my good friends at Bucked Up Supplements. You guys know the deal, man. I'm getting older, but I feel like I still look good. I still feel good. And a lot of it is because I only take Bucked Up supplements. I take all kinds of supplements that they make. So if you're looking to lose weight, gain muscle, more endurance, run marathons like I do, they have all the supplements for that. And also, if you're trying to stay in shape and you're pregnant, they have shit for that too. So you're welcome. Go to buckedup.com, enter the promo code 10 pounds, the number 10 and the word pounds, and you will save 20% off your order. Tell them I sent you. Okay, we're back in studio today. Petey's been gone for a few weeks. I literally just got back 2 hours ago. I was supposed to come back yesterday, and it's a whole thing with the flights. But anyway, we're back in studio, and I have one of my favorite people on the show. My guest, I was her first podcast ever.
Yep.
Ever. And she has a special place because I've known her since she was 19, 20 years old. She's in all the Lifetime movies now. You see her everywhere. She also had a really cool show. So she's just on the movie Look Who's Stalking on Lifetime. It's on Lifetime, right?
Yep.
And she was also in Deadly Garage Sale. She's been in a ton of, like I said, Lifetime movies, other movies. She also was a host of Smoky Mountain Stories. They had their own like streaming.
Yeah,
thing,
it's on
right?
Visit My Smokies and on YouTube.
We'll talk about it because I actually really enjoyed it. Put your hands together for my friend Juliana DeStefano.
Yay!
Welcome
Thank you,
back.
Peter.
This is the new studio.
I know, I love it.
You went to the old one.
I did.
That was 2019 before the world.
Because we talked about the Astros.
We did because it had just came that had just come to light. It had just come to light because they sat on it for like a couple of years and it just came to light and it was like a whole thing. But as you know, since then. I went to Houston last year. Remember when I was doing my baseball comedy tour? And I remember I texted you when I was in Houston and I was like, there's a lot of hot girls here.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, Juliana. I was expecting to go there and hate it and whatever because it's the Astros. But I'm going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb. Like, if it's not the hottest female fan base, it's up there, like top 3.
Really?
Yeah, and in all of Major League Baseball. And people will get mad at me for saying this. I'm a diehard Dodger fan. We don't have the hottest fans.
Y'all don't.
We might have hottest people like in the city, like because everyone that's hot moves here or whatever. But like, I've been to almost every Major League ballpark, and the Dodgers do not have the hottest fans. It's Houston's up there. Chicago Cubs are also up there. I have a soft spot for Midwestern girls, and
I just feel like Texas girls in general are hot.
Yeah,
and I'm not just saying that because I'm from there and I'm a Texan, but
yeah,
I've just noticed that.
And you know what it is too, because we're talking about this like even Austin, which I'm sure there's a lot of transplants there. But like so many beautiful girls, I'm gonna find my wife here. Like,
well, they're all fitness people.
They are real. There's a huge fitness community in Austin, which I really enjoy. But they're also just like real. Like we talked about this, but like the girls are real.
Yeah.
As far as like they're not trying to be actors or influencers. No, like they're just they just. They sell real estate.
They have a real job.
Yeah, they have a real job.
Money.
Yeah, which I'm totally fine with. Yeah. So we got to talk about this because this is the top of my list. I want to talk about your Smoky Mountain thing because as we have discussed, I've always wanted to go to like Pigeon Forge and Dollywood and just like what's Gatlinburg, right? Like everything like around there. I've always wanted to go, and then you get a show where you get to fucking go and do all the things there. So first of all, how did you just audition for it?
No, so there was a guy in Gatlinburg who him and his family own a lot of different places there.
Uh-huh.
And the board of tourism came to him with an idea of possibly doing a show.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, well, I know a great host and a producer. So they called the producer that I know in LA, who is also my acting coach. And
Okay.
his name's Jeffrey Dockweiler, and he got to produce the show. And then they both brought me on as the host. I sent my comedy reel, my resume, and then they booked me, and I flew first class to Tennessee.
I've never flown first class.
I haven't
ever.
either.
Really?
It was insane.
Yeah.
I think I did for one other for the clown movie, but like
Okay.
other than that, it was so cool because it was a long flight. I get there and I wish I figured this out earlier that I need to be a host because I got to be myself.
Yeah.
I got to make like stupid, cheesy jokes.
Right.
I got to jump off things. I got to pretend like I was going to jump off thing and then I'd get scared. Literally my job one day, what's so funny is my boyfriend works in commercial real estate and he'd have like
Shout
a
out
hard
to
day.
Zach Torres.
Zach Torres. He'd have a hard day. And
I like Zach, by the way. He's a nice guy.
I would call him and I'd be like, you had a hard day. Today, I had to roll down a hill in a hamster ball. I'm exhausted.
I saw that word. Yeah. I mean, I saw all of them, but.
I had to go to Dollywood and ride all these roller coasters.
Right.
And I was exhausted, but it was so much fun. And I think everybody should go to Pigeon Forge. And the people there are way nicer. You would expect... I feel like people assume certain things about people in Tennessee and Texas and places like that. Tennessee, the people there.
I'm sorry. What do you think that they assume about those people?
Well, just people, I feel like assumed like they only have one view of life.
Politically, kind of?
Yeah.
For
Or
sure.
and I feel like a lot of people in LA just don't like people in towns like that, but I loved them.
I think, I agree with you. I think it's because it goes both ways too, because like, I feel like people here, they think of like a small town and whatever and the ideals but they've never actually been
And they've never hung out with
or
those
like
people.
interacted with those people. And when they do, they're like, oh, these people are actually really nice and maybe even more nice. And
well, one episode we hired the local church to be our relatives and to have like a family weekend with us. And I keep up with those people on Facebook all the time. They watch all my Lifetime movies. They're my biggest fans now. And it was just, they were so sweet. And it was just, I can't believe that.
Was that the one that had the viewing party for your movie? Or like there's like
no,
a bit,
that was someone else.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah, a lot of people in Tennessee like Lifetime. So that was good.
That's your demo.
But yeah, watch Smoky Mountain Stories.
It's fun. I've always wanted to go. It looks so pretty. Like I've always wanted to go. I've also wanted, and I was gonna go, but Banff, which is like kind of by where I was in Canada this weekend, like just like a nice resort in the mountains. Because that's obviously like I grew up here. Like I didn't really grow up around places like that. Like you were in Oregon like a couple weeks ago, and I was in Oregon last weekend. And I'm like, it's so pretty.
Oh,
like
yeah, you were.
We don't get it. Like we don't get that kind of landscape here, so it's always just been like somewhere I wanted to go. And yeah, you got to play around and eat food. Now let me ask you this, because I remember like I did like a Doritos commercial back in the day, and like, you know me, like I had to keep spitting out the Doritos like in between takes. Like I would chew them for like the take, and then if they stopped rolling, then I would just spit it out because I don't want to just eat Doritos all day. But you were actually eating like all the food.
Well, we didn't really do multiple takes. So it felt like it was live. Like, did you see the hot sauce episode?
Yeah.
So I am very ballsy when it comes to like spicy things. And I'm like, I'm not scared of anything. And I ate, it was called the Flatliner or the Flatline. And it was so many different peppers put together. And I threw up, but they cut that part out.
They cut it out?
They cut it out. Oh, and nobody gave me a drink. I bought milk at the donut shop next door because I knew, I felt like I wasn't going to have anything to chug. And that's why I threw up, because there was just so much milk. And my stomach hurt, my brain hurt. Like,
is there any
my
video
nose
of you
hurt.
throwing up?
No, I wish. But, and then the thing is, it was so funny. Everything was so fast. So they're like, okay, now this part of the episode, you have to drink cider. And so I had to go to a pub and act like I didn't just eat hot sauce.
Oh, same day.
And I had to chug some cider, and I was like so sick, but it was so fun.
It looked fun. I mean, it looked like basically like, you know, like I have like my own pseudo, wannabe travel barbecue gym show that I put on my YouTube that like I hope eventually like basically doing like just going to these towns, like as a comedian we go to all these places and a lot of comedians will just sit in their hotel room all day, and it's like if I'm on the road, like I want to go and
try everything.
Yeah, do all the things in this town, because it's like I would never come here, like in the little town that I was in this weekend. Like no offense to my good friends in Lethbridge, but like I wouldn't go there.
Right, exactly.
Like if I wasn't performing there. But while I'm there, I'm going to do like the things that there are to do. And it just makes it more fun, I think. And it just looked like you guys are having fun, but also looked like you had like you knew all these people.
Well, what's cool, another reason why I felt like I had so much fun being a host is it's really easy for me to get to know people. Like everything was genuine. Like on the girls trip episode, I just met those girls.
Oh, so you did not know them?
No.
Okay.
I knew of them and I had a little information on them. But like we became best friends after that. And then there was like a family episode with the kids. Like I've never met the kids before.
Right.
And so I really got to get to know everybody and I loved it. I really hope we get to do it.
That was one where the kid the kid was doing the tightrope. Was that one? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other kid, I was just like, you know what? If you're scared, we can go back down. He goes, yeah. And it was because I was scared. Yeah. Like I didn't want to walk the tightrope, but the 5-year-old did.
And you went to Dollywood, which I've always wanted to do.
Dollywood was so fun.
Yeah.
Man. And I'm not afraid of roller coasters because we had Astroworld growing up in Houston. And
that's right, Astroworld, R.I.P.
Yep.
Wait, are they bringing it back? I forget. I feel like I talked about this the first time.
Travis Scott is. But
yeah, I watched the documentary and Mark said, I know they were trying to, but I don't know if it's going to happen after the whole incident.
Well, the thing is like Gen Z people, every time I go talk about Astroworld, they're like, oh yeah, I know what it is, like Travis Scott's music festival. And I was like, no,
yeah,
it's the amusement park I went to growing up.
Yeah. So when did it close? I don't even remember.
Oh my gosh. I think 2006.
2006.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was young. Man.
Now, so you don't remember also then. You don't even remember the Astrodome. Like, I mean, it was still there, but like.
Okay, I think I remember people going there during hurricanes, and I think
probably,
Katrina.
Yeah.
People went there.
Yeah.
People
that makes sense.
From New Orleans to Houston.
Right. Oh fuck.
But I've never been there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was closed by that. I don't remember what time Minute Maid opened, but wasn't impressed with the ballpark. Was definitely impressed
with Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, it was okay. It's okay. I mean, like I said, I was trying to hate it. It was fine. There's worse ballparks, but the girls were beautiful. And
you know a crazy story that happened to me the other day?
Yeah.
It's not that crazy, but I went to the Astros versus Angels game.
Oh yeah, I remember this. I saw on our social media. Yeah.
And I was wearing complete Astros. I was decked out in all my Astros gear, and people were calling me trash can, and then like, putting their middle fingers up at me. And then like the Angels were winning, and everybody's like, ha, that's what you get, trash can, blah, blah, blah. And then it was getting late, and my mom, who knows nothing about baseball, goes, well, I'm going to put the vibes out there that the Astros are going to get 2 home runs in this next inning. And I was like, Mom, shut up. No, they're not. And then they did. Huh. And then it was getting too late, and we were like, the Astros are going to lose. And so we left.
You left early.
And then they won like right then. And we're
hilarious.
Like, we were so thankful though that we left, because I don't know if it was safe that we were there.
It would have been fun. You know what it is, dude? So as someone who grew up here, like there's not really a lot of people that are real Angels fans.
Yeah, I agree.
The Angels were good for like a sec. They won the World Series in like 2002. And all these people came out of the woodworks as if they had been Angel fans the whole time. But I'm like, no, dude, you're not. Because like I grew like, I've loved baseball my whole life. But like I used to go to the games. I used to go I would always go to the Angel games when I wanted to see the other team. So like if Ken Griffey Jr. was coming to town, I would want to go see him. Or if like Pedro Martinez or like, I would always go to the Angel games to see who was coming to town. And it was always super easy to get tickets because no one went to the games. And they got good for a second. And the fans that like came out of the woodwork, they tried to act like they were big fans, and now the Angels have kind of sucked for the last 7 or 8 years, even though they have like the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
and people still won't go to the games because they're just not really good. And so it's just like funny because I'm like, I know 2 legit Angel fans are like some of my best friends, but other than that, like most of them aren't real fans. So I think you would have been safe is what I'm saying.
I feel like I did notice a lot of people who are Dodgers fans also be at the Angels game.
Yeah.
But it felt like fake Riverside people being like, oh.
Totally. Bros with the flat bill hat and the fucking, they drive, high-rise trucks and everything with like, they probably still wear, what are those beaded fucking necklaces? Like, what do they call them? Like the little ball necklaces. Remember those? No, you're not even old enough to remember those. Like back in the, what do they call them? With the fucking ball? What am I talking about? Not the puka shells, like, yeah, the metal like balls, like it was like a big thing, especially like in the 951, which was like Riverside, and the 909, like whatever. But if you were at a Dodger game, then it might have been a different story.
Yeah, that's why I'm not.
Yeah, Dodger fans, even though I am, I would never do that. But yeah, there's still a little, even though it's a lot more expensive to go to Dodger games now, there's still a little ghetto there.
Yeah.
I went to the game by myself the other day.
You went what? By yourself?
To the Dodger game by myself.
Oh,
yeah.
fun. I'm going on the 29th.
It was just, I love day games, and there was a day game, and everyone has jobs. So I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to fucking go to the game. And I went by myself, sat in the sun for like 3 hours, and I was like, cool. I used to do it all the time. I love it. I'll go to games like wherever.
Baseball's the only sport I like.
Yeah. It's only a sport like it's like,
Like I understand it.
Yeah.
But
it's a smart man's game. Or woman, or persons, or non-binary person, whatever. You get what I mean. Okay, so let's talk about your movies. I feel like every other month a movie of yours comes out.
Luckily, yeah.
It seems like it's
been a good run. I mean, so Look Who's Stalking came out last week.
Obviously, and I texted you, but I saw the twist coming.
I know. So this is what's interesting is
You don't have to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it, but
I've already posted online though.
Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, whatever.
And I feel like if you're watching this podcast, you've probably seen my movie or at least a few of them.
Yeah. There's a recipe. There's a formula.
So I have played the villain in most of them.
Yeah.
And what's cool is like I have like a little bit of a fan base online.
Yeah.
And people were posting and men call me their wife time. Isn't that so funny? Their wife time.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I love it. And it's like old men with eye patches. Like it's so weird. But this guy posted and he goes,
my wife time?
Yeah. He's like, I couldn't wait to watch my wife time, but I knew she was the killer all along.
Yeah.
Because she's billed number 2 on the cast list. And so usually that means you're the villain.
I mean, like, because like the first scene, you I feel like in this one you came in like in the second scene and you were like her assistant or whatever, and I just assumed that you guys just had. I didn't. That wasn't what gave it to me. That what the twist ended up being, but it was just. I just thought you guys were like co-leads. I didn't know where the story was going to go, but then there was a moment where I was like, "Oh yeah, it's totally her." Like I can see.
I mean, some people were so surprised, and other people were like, "Juliana only plays the killer." I've only played the victim 1.5 times. And what I mean by 1.5 was one of them was Psycho BFF, where I was like new girl in school, best friend trying to kill me. But then the other Lifetime movie where I was like the victim was a shark movie.
I was going to say you got killed by a spoiler alert.
Almost killed. I didn't get killed.
Wait, you didn't die in that one?
That's what I tell people. It's like once you're the star of the movie, you don't die.
Oh, well, okay,
so once I started being more of the leads in these movies, I died less, which was like,
okay,
I felt successful.
Yeah.
Because I died in smuggling in suburbia because I smuggled some diamonds and then stole one and then someone chopped my head off.
Right. So you have like a fan base now online of like,
and I get recognized in the middle of nowhere. I got recognized in Walmart, TJ Maxx.
For sure.
And my favorite story of getting recognized was I was filming a movie in Amarillo. And this waitress comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're the girl who has the gun to her head in the bathroom. You're the girl that killed her sister. You're blah, blah, blah." And she was so happy. And then she goes, "My daughter and I watch your Lifetime movies every night." And it made me so happy. Flash forward to a year later when I'm going to the movie premiere of that movie in Amarillo, staying in the same hotel. I go downstairs to get coffee and then she goes, "I know exactly who you are. I told all the cooks and the waitresses that the Lifetime movie star is here." And I was like, "Oh, I have a new movie coming out." And she goes, My daughter died last year.
Oh shit!
And we used to watch
Wait,
it all
same
the time.
lady?
Same lady.
Oh no!
And so she was just, I don't know, it was just super sad, but also, I don't know, it was sweet seeing her again and getting to tell about my new movie coming out.
This is the one with Kellen Lutz, right?
That one was with Kellen Lutz. Yes.
Yeah.
The one I went to that premiere.
Because, I'm a big Twilight fan.
Okay, so I didn't know who he was.
What?
And
How do I know who he is and you don't?
What's funny is my best friend Cameron was on Instagram, and Kellen Lutz posted a photo of me on his story, and she's like, "What are you doing on Kellen Lutz's story?" I was like, "Who? I don't know. I'm filming a movie."
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know
He's
who he
Emmett.
was. Well, now I know.
Wait, hold on. So, I mean, you can be honest on this podcast. Have you not seen Twilight?
I saw like once because people used to say I looked like Kristen Stewart.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't see that at all.
I don't either.
I mean, you guys are both. I think she's pretty. I think they uglied her in the movie because it's with the character, but you guys don't look alike at all.
I feel like growing up I might have. I don't know, but
Maybe. She's like super pale.
Yeah, and I'm super not.
So I love vampires.
Oh, I did not know this.
No, I read all the Twilight books.
Really?
I watched Vampire Diaries. I read all the Vampire Chronicles. There's a movie coming out that's kind of about Dracula. I forget what it's called. Like, I will watch anything vampire.
My thing is, I don't like things that wouldn't exist. Like, I don't like Harry Potter.
Stop it.
I don't like. Do you believe in vampires?
I mean, I don't not believe in them. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I like haunted things that like could, like The Conjuring, where it's like based off true events. So I like ghost
barely.
stuff.
So okay, here's the thing.
But vampires, no.
So I mean, we know that aliens are real now.
Okay, yeah. What happened?
Fucking aliens are real. That's what happened. There's proof. I don't know how much they're going to give to us, but no, like they were obviously they testified in Congress. Like it's the people in the military have seen these things that they can't explain, and there's like multiple incidents, and people have claimed to have had contact. And I had Trevor on the show, and his dad was working at this technical institute where they were doing research, and he saw him, and like it's this whole thing. Like I don't know, like I mean,
I believe in that. Yeah.
It's very, I mean, I believe in it. I've never had a ghost experience, but I believe that they're there.
New Orleans is trippy.
Dude, okay, this is I'm glad you brought this up. Have you seen Interview with the Vampire or read the books?
No.
Damn it. I'm more of a girl than Juliana is.
Oh, for sure.
So you never seen it's a very good movie.
No.
Christian Slater, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt.
When did it come out?
Like 93, maybe 92.
I didn't exist. So if I don't watch movies before I exist.
Yes, you do.
No, there's not. I mean,
I'm
choose
sure
not to.
But okay.
Yeah. No.
So Interview with the Vamp, but also Kirsten Dunst was in it when she was like a little girl. There's a lot of really big actors. But anyway, so long story short, if you guys haven't seen Interview with the Vampire, I'm about to spoil it for you, but Tom Cruise is a vampire. He's who else is in it? Thandie Newton. Oh, there's so many good actors in it. Anyway, Tom Cruise is a vampire, and Brad Pitt is just like this fucking drunk running around and banging chicks, and he gets really hammered one day, and he kind of wants to die. He's trying to like kill himself, kind of like. And then Tom Cruise just basically like snatches him away and turns him into a vampire. Like he bites him. It's like kind of like homoerotic, but they like float off. And then he bites Brad Pitt and turns him into a vampire. It's in New Orleans, right?
Oh, wow.
So the last time I was in New Orleans, I was there by myself, and I got really stoned one night, and I just walked around the French Quarter. Just because, and I'm like, if it's real, dude, I'm opening up myself to the possibility that it could happen. Like, if there's gonna be a vampire that fucking takes me away, like, fucking bring it, dude. And it didn't happen, but it's very creepy walking around the French Quarter at night by yourself. And when you're stoned, it just like gets magnified.
I stayed in a haunted museum there.
That's right, a haunted hotel.
Mansion.
Yeah.
For like a month.
I feel like everything is haunted there. Like, it's so old.
That's what made me believe in those ghosts. I was like.
I remember you telling me about the hotel.
I was filming there, and it was
it's just that's my favorite city. I've talked about it a million
New Orleans.
times.
I want to go back. I was lucky to get to be there for a month.
Yeah.
You
A
do
month, dude. I would
everything.
do all the things.
I did everything.
Did you do like a haunted tour?
Well, it was during COVID.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, because I was gonna go. I was like, dude, that's when I was in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And you're
Because
like,
then
oh, it's
right
COVID.
after that, I went to Oklahoma to film that other
that's
movie.
right. That's right. That's
and
right.
I saw you.
Yeah, we hung out when I was in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Can you believe that?
It was right during COVID.
Doesn't seem like it was so long ago, and it kind of was, but it also kind of wasn't.
Right.
I posted this thing the other day. I can bring it up really quick. I thought it was, have you ever watched Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone?
What year did it come out?
No, it's
new. That's
it's
new.
a show that's out like right now. It's a show
No.
on, I think it's
No,
on,
I haven't seen it.
I think it's on Paramount. And he's like the star, and I guess it's really good. It's the guy that Taylor Sheridan, the guy that writes Yellowstone and everything. He created this show as well. He has
Yeah.
like all kinds of shows. And so anyway, Sylvester Stallone, I posted this. He says, being in Oklahoma has prepared me for a lifetime in hell if I got sent there.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
And I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know if that's real, but
I liked Oklahoma for when I was there. But yeah, I wouldn't live
you were
there.
like, you were staying in the nice part of Oklahoma.
And it was snowing, which was cool.
Yeah. And that's, yeah. But
And I got to do some
there-
touristy stuff, but
did you go to the memorial?
yeah, you
Yeah.
were the one who told me to go to
Okay,
it.
because
And I
so-
loved it.
I have a joke about it, but that's like the only thing to do. Like that's like the only real thing
It
to
was
do
so,
there.
I keep telling people that I went there, and so many people don't even know about it.
The memorial?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a joke about it. Like I'm making fun of Oklahoma. Sorry, guys. But how it's like if you ask people what to do, they say go to the memorial, and it's like how fucked up is the place that you live in when that's the best thing to do is go to the memorial.
That's so true.
But it is a nice memorial, like, and it's very. Did you do the actual like tour of like where they replayed like the town hall meeting and you run through the
I
like?
did it. I had earbuds in.
Okay,
I listened to something.
I don't
But
remember
I was
how.
alone.
Like, I just remember like when I did go, they have like a kind of like not like an interactive tour, but they kind of like recreate the scene at least.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There's like a
part.
city council meeting going on, and then you hear the bomb happen, and then like you hear sirens, and it's like chaos, and it's very interesting, but it's also it's very sad.
So sad.
But yeah, there's just not a lot to do in Oklahoma. But New Orleans, dude, I could fucking spend. I would love to be there for like a
Well,
month.
I never noticed how close New Orleans was. I mean, I moved
To
here so
Houston.
young,
Yeah,
but like,
it's like
so I
it's
would
like a
never
6-hour
have gone
drive
to like
right.
New Orleans alone at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But there's buses for $20.
I
there
drove
to get there.
when I was doing my baseball tour. I planned it, and I did a couple of days in Houston, and then I drove to New Orleans because I was already back here, but I went to Oklahoma first, hang out with my ex-girl for a while, and then I drove down to Houston, and I drove to New Orleans, and then I went somewhere else afterwards. That's like, when you're a comic, you gotta kind of had to map out like your route to make it
Yeah.
like the most efficient. But yeah, I was like, I
I got
want
to go during Halloween. It was so fun.
Oh, that would be like, yeah, I would want to go like in October. I'm gonna try to go actually in like
So
October,
fucking miss it.
November. It's the best. It really is, and the food. Oh,
The food was so good.
yeah, I could get fat there.
I
wouldn't.
only ate gumbo and Doritos. I don't
Now,
know why
see,
Doritos.
They
but
have a different type of gumbo.
They have duck gumbo. which is
Yeah, they
good.
have like different like. So my grandparents are from Louisiana, my dad's side, but they're like from the country a little bit more, like a couple hours outside of New Orleans, and so I grew up like liking gumbo, but the gumbo that they make in New Orleans is a different type of gumbo. It's kind of like, you ever had menudo? You're not missing anything. It's fucking gross, but it's a Mexican thing, and different. I feel like different regions just make it a little bit different, like it's great. Basically, it's a soup with fucking cow intestines.
Ew.
I know, it's fucking gross, dude. People drink that. The whole family gets together to make menudo. It's so gross. I would never eat it, but I tried it as a kid because everyone's eating menudo and making a big deal about it. But I feel like gumbo is the same way. Like regionally, they have their different things. But like I ate like fried alligator. Did you have that?
So I had that in Thailand. I didn't get it
Oh.
there.
Yeah, it's like definitely.
I
like,
loved it.
It's so I know.
I'll try anything. But nobody I know will, because I don't know, but I love trying.
I have
weird
limits.
Stuff. What?
Well, I won't eat seafood.
That's your limit?
Yeah, I won't eat seafood. I hate
I love seafood.
I hate anything that's in the water.
Oh, I tried shark.
I've had shark.
I tried shark and snake jerky And then they filmed me for Smoky Mountain Stories.
Was this in Smoky Mountain?
Yeah, but I didn't need it. We didn't need to. I just wanted to film it. Like I volunteered to eat it and it never even made the cut. But
you had snake jerky?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rattlesnake? And alligator. And maybe. Yeah. And then shark. Shark tasted gross. It just tasted like fishy fish.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like it when it tastes like fishy. I don't know. Yeah. I just don't like any kind of seafood. But other than that, I'll probably try. I'll probably try.
You tried bugs?
I've had in Seattle where the Mariners play. I don't know what it's called now.
I was just there. I would have tried bugs.
So like when I was doing my baseball thing, going to all the ballparks, I would look up like most major league ballparks have like a food that they're like known for, like come here, get this thing. And like, not all parks, but most of them do. Like Dodgers Stadium, you got to go to have a Dodger dog. And in Seattle, their thing is it's like red chili pepper crickets. So they like grilled crickets and then they put them in like a thing and you just fucking like it's like
totally
it's like a little it's not bad. It just it tastes like I don't know, just like a spicy chip, but like the texture, like you're chewing it. It's very crunchy. But it's fine. Like I tried it, like it's whatever. But like I figured it'd be fine because they sold it at a ballpark. Like if it was super gross, I don't think they would sell it at a ballpark. But that's a really nice ballpark. That's a nice ballpark. They have a retractable roof and everything, and like the train drops them off like right. I like towns that you can take the train to the ballpark. Because like Dodger Stadium like is just a fucking pain in the ass to get out of. Like traffic is always the worst. Yeah. I wish we had a train that would just fucking drop us off, but we don't. So it is. You went to Seattle. That's right.
I did.
You were working though with like Microsoft or something?
Yeah. I was doing some comedy videos for them.
So you're doing like hosting and like stuff like that now too, right?
Yeah, this was just more acting, comedy, industrial videos.
Industrial, that's the word.
Which was fun, but I also did some stand-up out there.
Yeah.
Which was great.
I love stand-up up there.
Yeah, so fun. I did an all-woman show, and then I also did just this like at a gay bar, like a show that I randomly hopped on.
Was it the Unicorn Bar?
I don't know. No, it wasn't that. But it was in Capitol Hill.
Yeah. There's a bar there. I think it's called the Unicorn Bar, where it's like it's a gay bar, but it's like also like everything's like unicorn inside.
Oh wow,
it's very cool. Yeah, I love Seattle. I love Seattle. It's one of my favorite. It's not like my top 5, but it's up there.
I just like that whole what's it called? The Pike's Place.
Oh yeah, Pike's Market.
Yeah,
I throwing the fish and everything. See, for me, like, and yeah, you're probably too young, but like. I remember there was a lot of cities that they did on do you remember the Real World?
Yes, but I didn't watch
I feel like it's like a little bit after before your time. I mean, like it was very popular when I was like
I remember it.
In like junior high and high school. Like I feel like the first Real World was like, I don't know, 92 or something, 93. And they would, it's like San Francisco, New York. And it was like, and they would obviously, basically, I feel like part of it was just like a tourist ad for all these cities.
Yeah.
And so like I grew up, poor and, whatever. We didn't go on vacations like that, like seeing all these cool places. And then when I finally got to go, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like, because if you go to Seattle, like the Real World house is right there they lived right off of like where the market is. It's like one of the hangars. It's, I don't know what number it is, but like, yeah, like, and so like they would go. And so I'm like, oh yeah, this is where they came here. This is where they worked for the Real World. Like, so all these different things I remember from like the same thing with New Orleans. Like New Orleans was a town in the Real World, like Austin, like all these different places that I go, Nashville, like were like kind of made like lasting impressions in my mind because of the Real World. It's kind of, I guess it's, I don't even, it might still be on, I don't know. Sorry, MTV. I know they kind of like try to bring it back, but I don't know if it's still on. But anyway, I do love Seattle. They have really good food in Seattle.
They did.
You guys drove up, right?
No, that was a different trip.
Okay.
We drove to Bend, Oregon.
Oh, that's right. I
was in Seattle, came back for like 2 days.
Whose idea was that?
To go to Oregon?
To drive.
Zach.
Like, because he has a Tesla, right?
Yeah, he just got it right before the trip.
So you gotta like stop every like 300 miles?
Yeah.
To fucking charge that shit?
In charge. It was horrible. Because everybody else is doing the same thing.
Yeah, like you have no choice. But like, I know like with Teslas, it tells you where you can stop, so you can kind of map it out. You can
watch TV. So we watched like reality shows. It has a little TV in there. And when you charge, you can watch a show.
So how long did it take to charge?
45 minutes, I think.
Oh, that's nothing.
But when there's a line of other Teslas charging.
Oh, right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to kind of now, because I don't know, I don't have a Tesla, obviously, but like, because it tells you where the stations are, right?
Yeah, like let's say you put in your maps, like take me to Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
It will only direct you to the closest. It'll only direct you to the charging place that while you're running out. So it's like
Right.
you can't even get to Oregon. It'll direct you to a charging place, and then you do that, and it'll direct you to another charging place.
Got it.
So it's pretty cool.
But it doesn't tell you like, hey, well, at this one, there's this many people, so maybe go to the next one.
It is on the app.
Okay, I figured they would be
but
like.
then sometimes people are like, that's not true, or like, oh, it's might not be correct. And
Interesting.
Then sometimes
Yeah, I knew they were like, it's what's it called, like superchargers or
Yeah.
something. Because like I when I went to Austin a few weeks ago, I had to rent a car, and they gave me a fucking electric car, and I was like, so this is okay. And I've talked about it on this podcast, so people that listen are no secrets. But as a comedian, we're just getting paid what we're getting paid.
Yeah.
Whatever the rate is for the weekend. Sometimes we're getting put up, sometimes we're not. Thank you for the club this weekend, putting me up in the beautiful hotel. I was like in the, I don't know if it was like the penthouse, but it was the nicest hotel room in the hotel. It was pretty cool. I was really hoping I could take a girl back, but it's not a lot of talent in Lethbridge, I'll be honest. Same thing goes with like, renting a car. Like, I'm just going to try to make it the cheapest possible option. Like, I don't need a fancy car. I just need to get around, you know? And so like when you rent cars, sometimes it'll be like, economy for this much, SUV for this much. And then sometimes it'll be like dealer's choice. And it's usually like the cheapest option, but you don't know what you're going to get. It'll tell you like, it'll give you like, it'll say, I don't know, Ford Focus or similar or something like that, but you don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and they're like, oh, this is your car. It's an electric car. And I was just like, electric car? They're like, yeah, you just need to charge it up to like 90% or whatever it was. I was like, well, can I get like a not an electric car? And they said it would cost more. I was like, fuck off.
Oh,
dude.
wow. I would think it'd be the other way around.
Exactly. So anyway, so I go to charge it one of the nights. And I didn't realize, I thought it was like, like 45 minutes or something, because I've heard people that charge their Tesla. Dude, it took like 12 hours to charge. I'm like, this is half the day, dude. I had to do it overnight. But even then, I'm not sleeping 12 hours. I need to fucking do shit. So like I had to divvy it over 2 nights to fully charge. And it was a whole thing. The last night I was there, I don't know if I told the story on here or not, but I had met this girl, but I had to take my car back to charge. And I was just like, I cock blocked myself, basically.
That's funny.
I was like, she was super cool. I was just like, and I'm like, and I don't want to be like, hey, you want to go back to my hotel room? But I'm like, I got to go charge my car. So like, whatever. Right now, fucking loser. So I learned my lesson. No more dealer's choice. Unless I need to save money, then it's totally going to be dealer's choice again. But you guys, so what's in Bend, Oregon?
It was a wedding. We just went to a wedding, but him and Zach and his friends, they go there every year to float the river.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fun.
So they had this huge, like, pirate ship one.
No shit.
They called it Rivergate.
Hilarious.
Because it kept sinking. And I had just like I refused to get on it. And I had like a little boat one.
Uh-huh.
Like you just blow it up. And it was a kid one.
Okay.
And mine survived the rapids though.
I've done that. It's fun. And they do that. There's a lot of towns where like, you start at the top and then like someone picks you up at the bottom.
Yeah, they would park one car there and then one car at the end.
It's cool. We take like, you can drink on the river probably,
it was so fun.
I guess.
I went to the Blockbuster.
Oh, that's right. The last Blockbuster.
That was cool.
Uh-huh.
That was interesting.
So you're not old enough to remember like
Blockbuster?
Like,
hell yeah.
Remember it, but like not like I remember it.
Well, I remember when it closed.
Okay.
Because I would always rent the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies.
Hilarious.
I loved those. And
I don't know if I've ever seen a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie.
You should.
They're like detectives, right?
I feel like, yeah. And then one was like...
Is there one where it's like a knockoff of The Parent Trap? Because I feel like I've seen that one.
Yes. Okay, so they had those, which were like movies. But then they had like their home movies, which was like... They're trying to sell their brother at a lemonade stand and they're going to the school dance. And they were like little cute, little weird videos. But then there was like actual movies.
Yeah.
And that was one where they were like, yes, knockoff of.
It was like, because like they ran into each other somehow
at
and they were
camp
like
or something.
and they were like, wait,
maybe.
why do we look alike?
Yeah.
And then there was like it was definitely a bite of like the Parent Trap.
Yeah. I loved
how crazy that Elizabeth Olsen is like a huge actor and the
I just realized that.
Like, I mean, she's great in like the Marvel movies, and there's that one movie that Melancholia, isn't that she in that movie?
I haven't seen it.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah. There and then you would also, I remember, because it was kind of like the whole GameStop thing too, where we would bring in the movies and try to sell them back to them, and it'd be like a penny.
Right. I just remember, like, I mean, before Netflix and chill, there was Blockbuster and.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. That's
what I was going to say. Like, and then you would get like charged like late fees and stuff, and you were like, "Fuck it, I guess I own this movie now."
Yeah.
I guess I own Friday the 13th 6. Jason Lives.
And then didn't you have to rewind it?
You did have to rewind it, and what's so weird is that like you rewound it, but then over time, like you learned that like rewinding the tapes in your VCR was bad for the VCR. So then like a lot of people had also just a rewinder to rewind like supposedly the rewinding in the VCR messed up the VCR. So you had to buy a rewinder, and then you're just like, well, fuck this, dude. I'm just gonna get a DVD player. Like you don't have to worry about that anymore.
But you only know VHSs, right?
I know Beta too.
What?
Beta was like you.
But when you exist, like when you're like, there was only VHSs when you were a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
there wasn't anything other than
there was no DVDs.
Right, but like there was nothing before VHSs. Or
now I remember. I'm sure they were out before, but like I don't think like they were readily available. But like I remember as a kid, like we're like, okay, now we're gonna go rent movies. We're gonna go rent VHSs. It's so insane
because that was just already a thing, and then there was Redbox, which is the DVDs.
Redbox is still very popular in small town America.
And then there was streaming.
Yeah, and now it's just a whole different thing because Redbox was also cool because you're like, you'd go to 7-Eleven or Ralph's or whatever, and be like, all right, well, let's rent a movie for tonight, and it was like, bam, and you could take the cool thing about Redbox was that you could take it back to other Redboxes. Yeah. As long as you
I just don't have a DVD player anymore, I don't think.
Nobody does.
And a lot of computers don't really take it
Cars
either.
don't come with CD players anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
My car, I think, is the last. I drive a 20.
I have a CD player, yeah.
I drive a 2017. And I think like 2017 or 18 was kind of the last that they made CD players.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Is that your first time in Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
I've been twice now over the last couple months. It's so pretty.
It was so pretty.
Yeah.
It was hot, but it wasn't like Texas hot.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't humid.
You know what kept happening to me? And I don't think this probably has ever happened to anybody else, but they kept running out of things. Every restaurant I went to, every coffee shop, I'd be like, can I have hot sauce? Oh, sorry, we ran out. Can I have sugar? I feel
like that's every eating experience everywhere now. Like post-COVID, fucking customer service, shit like that. Like, they're just like, yeah, we don't have it.
It sucks.
Like, sorry, fucking order something else, dude. I'm like, what, dude? Like, yeah. Like, I went, I went to eat after one of my shows, and I was like, what did I order? I was going to order like a burger, and they're like, we're out of fries, though. I'm like, well,
how are they out of fries?
I don't fucking know, dude. It was late, but I'm just like, but that's a perfect example. It's just like, I feel like so many places are just like, yeah, we're just out. And
we just give up.
Okay, I'm still going to pay full price, and it's just the way it is now and whatever. But yeah, I really like Oregon. Like, I really had, like, I think it's nice for me to, like, because I live here, obviously, to go to other places, but then just kind of be out in the wilderness a little bit. Because I feel like Oregon is kind of like that. Like, Portland is a city, but like outside the couple other towns that I've been to, it's like they're little small suburbs, but kind of like in these little vacation resort kind of towns. Like the casino that I was at performing was like right on the coast. So it was like just really pretty. And then like last weekend, I was like in the middle of like it's like a volcano. There's like a volcano there that people go to. It's like called Crater Lake. So it's like a volcano that collapsed, and there's a lake, and then
someone I know was like going there.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wish I would have known. Like, I would have got here like a day earlier and like gone to see it, But I don't know. It's just I like doing that. Like, it's nice. Like same reason I like going to Vancouver. Vancouver's like city, but inside like a forest, like a big forest right in the
That's
middle
what I
of the
loved
city.
about Seattle. I
Yeah.
mean,
Did you guys ride bikes? I was sure.
No, but I wanted to.
That's like a
I love
really.
biking.
I told you that, right?
No.
Oh yeah, like you can ride a bike all through the city.
That's what
there's-
I think you can do it from Redmond. I think it's Redmond to Seattle. Like there's a huge bike lane.
There's a whole you can see the whole.
That's what LA is
city.
missing.
I talk about it all the time. I go on rants on my social media about it because when I'm on the road and I go for like just this weekend, I didn't know where I was going. I just know I had to run like 10 miles, so I just ran in a direction, and as I kept running, I came across this trail, and next thing I know, I'm running through the mountains and I'm running along a river. I'm like, I can never do this in LA. Like you have to go outside, like for like a while to be able to do that, or go to the beach or something. It's just like, they did miss the boat on the infrastructure. I saw that they're gonna try to like make bike lanes and stuff, but I'm like, so now you're just gonna create more traffic than there already is.
That's
like
so true.
Traffic's the worst.
People who ride bikes here bother me because I mean I like riding my bike and I wish there was more room for people.
But they ride in the middle and you're like,
they act like they're a
move.
car.
Yeah, you're not a car. You're going 10 miles an hour.
And they'll do it on like those those big roads, and you're like, come on, I can't go around you.
Preaching to the choir, dude. You fucking honk at those motherfuckers.
They piss me off.
Yeah, for real. Houston has a nice little like they have like bike lanes and running trails and stuff. I was very pleased when I went.
Well, a lot of people bike to work.
Yeah. H-Town. Would you ever move back to Houston?
Nope.
Oh, not even a hesitation.
Nope.
Juliana, you're breaking so many hearts right now.
Sorry, mom and dad. There's nothing there for me. My skill sets would not thrive there.
Okay.
I'm not good at anything that a job would offer there. I mean, I like my town and my house there, but I'd probably move to Dallas. I wouldn't move to Houston.
What about Austin?
I'd move to Austin.
Yeah.
I would move to Austin.
There's shit to do there.
But I mean, my life now is here.
Yeah.
It feels like, but I'm not getting rid of my studio apartment ever. I'm keeping it.
Do you still live in the same place that I was looking at?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The no kitchen.
Dude, I was like, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it.
Yeah, but my rent doesn't go up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Mark just told me that I was touching the microphone. Sorry. I got a little fidgety. Yeah, I remember when I went to look at dude, I had so much trouble when I was trying to find a place. Like in the old days, you would go look for an apartment and like there had like a person that would show you the apartment. And like, that's not a thing here anymore. Like you have to like make an appointment and it's super inconvenient. Like I was just looking at places and it's just like you go, and they show you the place and whatever. It's like so much easier. But here in LA, it's just, they're like, and the big thing now is a lot of them, they operate like virtually or like not virtually, but like there's like a virtual operator. Yeah. So like they'll text you
and they'll give you a code and then
this is Martha from whatever apartment. When would you like to schedule your appointment? I'm like, how about Tuesday at 1? Tuesday at 1's not available. How about Friday at 6? You're like, no, I only have like these. Yeah. It's like so frustrating. So we have to talk about this. I guess we really don't, but there's a strike going on right now. Mm-hmm. And it's really weird because like, I feel like there's people on the picket lines that are just doing it for social media.
I 100% agree, and I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying this. I'm glad
we won't share this clip. It'll just be for the people that listen.
Yeah, it's annoying because it's like, I agree with whatever we're all fighting for.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed with some of the celebrities that are talking about it who are making $1 million per episode and then they're pissed off at their residuals when it's like, yo, it's like I did a Toyota commercial and made $10,000 off of doing nothing because it played on TV. Yeah. I did an episode of 13 Reasons Why.
That's
and
right.
I get paid like $1.32 a year off of residuals.
Wow.
So it's people like me who are struggling more.
Yeah. Well, they say that like, I think it's like there's out of all the people in SAG, only 10% of the people actually make 2% of the people actually make a living acting.
But my thing is it's like
it's like a very small percentage that's making.
None of us. I didn't go into it thinking I was going to make a lot of money.
Right.
And I think I'm different in that way because a lot of people are in it for the fame and
For sure.
are expecting, but I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
It's so rare to make it.
The same thing with comedy. Like for me, you know, it's like, I mean, would I love to be Kevin Hart or whatever? Yeah, like of course. But like, I just want to make a living doing comedy.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. That's why I go to all these fucking towns
Well, the
that
thing
no
is
one goes to.
that pisses me off the most about this strike right now is like I've been doing the low budget indie films and I've made
You're a hustler, buddy.
Like I've been making not like a huge living, but I've been able to pay my bills doing that.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of people turn their nose at like, oh, like, you know, I would never really do that or blah, 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 blah. And now that that's probably going to be the only thing left for a while, people are like, oh, I would love to do an indie film. And now I was like a big fish in a small pond. And now I'm going to be a small fish in a big pond again.
Right.
And I just don't like, there's so many things I'm mad about right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's,
And it is a whole social media thing.
I just say, I've seen so many people like posting and I'm like, are you even like working enough to, I don't know,
actually
like
be affected by it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never seen you work. Like I work, there's some years I was doing like 5 movies a year.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I do work a lot.
Yeah, you do, buddy. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm always proud of Juliana.
But it feels like, and then people will be messaging me and getting in my business about it. And I'm like, yeah.
I'm on your own fucking business, dude.
And they're just like, it's like, I'll probably go to the pickets. Like I live by all the studios. But at the same time, it's just, it feels like hey, look at me. Look what I'm doing.
That's exactly what it is.
When I'm like, I'd rather just do open mics during this time. And I'd rather go on a hike. I don't know, like better myself instead of just cry. I
mean, I think there's also like a certain percentage of people that think that because they like, especially like if they're posting about it, like they're networking by being on the picket lines. And then by picketing, someone's going to like link up with them and be like, oh, well, you picketed with us, so I'm going to put you in this. I'm going to
put you in my next movie.
That's not going to fucking happen. And if it does, dude, you can fucking let me know and you can call me out on social media and be like, hey, I met this person picketing. But it's like, I don't think it's going to be a thing.
So that's, I mean, if Selena Gomez was picketing, I'd go. But
would you really?
I haven't seen her there yet.
I haven't either. And
if she was at Universal picketing, I'd be like, gotta go, Peter.
I didn't realize that you guys' birthday was like only a few days apart.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. That's why I love her. I love Selena Gomez. Still.
I mean, she's definitely like, I like her too.
Because she doesn't care. That's what I love about her. Like, she's not really posting about all this stuff. And she's just out in Italy and Paris with her friends being hot. Like, I want to do that. I want to be rich and spend all my money.
Yeah. So you do want to be rich then?
I do.
Okay.
But like, I don't feel like, but there's like a difference. Like, I don't feel
she's like fucking like close. She's got to be pushing $1 billion at this point.
I feel like so. Yeah.
Like,
but it's like, I don't feel like I'm in it to like, I never went into acting trying to go be famous. And to get rich. And I especially did not get into stand-up thinking to be rich.
Right.
But like seeing Selena Gomez's life, it's like, yeah, I would love to be young and go on a boat in Paris with my friends. Right. Stuff like that. Would like love to do that. But
I would love to like with what happened with me this weekend and my travel situation, getting stuck in a city for an extra day and whatnot. I would love to get to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get a private and I'll go home.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Let me just get a private jet and just fucking not even worry about this at this point.
Yeah.
That would be sweet. But like, that's like so, although I did take a really nice, so I had to take a bus from Calgary to the city that I was in. And it's like, I don't know how far across Canada they go, but I've taken this bus before. It's only in Canada. It's called Red Arrow. And it's almost like your little, like my own like private little like tour bus.
I love buses.
There was like 5 people on the bus, but they had like TVs, they had Wi-Fi, they had a plug, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like I've been on Greyhounds and fucking, this is a baller compared to a fucking Greyhound, dude. And also they had like snacks like for free. Like they had soda and cookies and chips. And I'm like, this is actually pretty, a bathroom. Nice. Yeah, it was really nice. And I was like, okay. But now I see, because I remember, you know who Brian Regan is? Mm-hmm. He, a few years ago, we were in Wichita. You don't know who Brian Regan is. Very funny, famous comic, super clean. But so we were performing at the Comedy Club in Wichita and he was doing a theater in Wichita. And so he came the comedy club just because he wanted to hang out with us. Not like he knew us. He just wanted to hang out with the comics. So he was hanging out at the club, took us on his tour bus. And I was like, oh, this is different. Like, this is a different, like, it was like, he had like a bed and like
wow,
beer. And like, I was like,
beer.
yeah. And it was only him and his two openers. So I'm like, this is fucking like, if you're going to be like a road comic like this, because then you could just have a driver drive you to the next city or whatever. And like,
so cool.
So like, yeah, I was like, this is like the tour bus life. So then riding on that bus this weekend, her mind was like, oh yeah, tour bus is like kind of like, it's not quite private jet, but it's like, you know, you got to still be a little higher up there to get to the tour bus life too. You know?
Yeah.
Like Bert Kreischer has his own tour bus with his picture on the side of it and whatever. It's
That'd
like
be so cool.
It would be.
I do love buses. I don't know why, but I love buses.
It's fun. Like I said, I will never take a Greyhound again. I'm past that point.
I'll do Flixbus any day of the week.
Flixes are nice too.
Flixbus.
Yeah, I took one from Seattle to Vancouver.
I do it to Vegas for the Jonas Brothers. If they're performing,
that's right.
I did it to San Francisco overnight.
Have they done Dodger Stadium yet?
No, and I'm missing it. They're doing it September 10th or 9th. Yeah.
You're missing it?
Yeah, because I have a wedding in Texas. I'll be in Texas. So I'm going to go to a Texas show instead.
Okay.
When they're there. I'm flying back to Houston.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'm not going to be here either.
Would you have gone?
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it would have been fun.
I've never been to a concert at Dodger Stadium.
I thought you were going to say I've never been to a Jonas Brother concert.
No, I've never been to a Jonas Brother concert either. But... Yeah, but I've never been to a concert at Dodger Stadium. I did see Taylor Swift perform at Dodger Stadium before.
When? I want to go to her concert.
If I had to guess, it was opening day 2006.
Oh, a long time ago. I saw her at the Houston Rodeo.
Or maybe it was 2008. It was an opening day, and she was still a nobody, essentially, like a rising country star. And she was just playing, and we were just like, who's this fucking little girl with crimped hair, like playing her guitar? And now she's selling out like 10 nights at SoFi. Man. And the cheapest ticket's like $1,000.
I know.
I looked into it because I was like, let me see how much Taylor Swift is. And it's way too much money for me.
Way too much.
So, well, Juliana, we have to wrap this up. You know, I always enjoy having you. Thank you for doing this.
I enjoy being here.
Do you have anything coming up? Like that's coming out? You have so many movies out.
Yeah, I have a few things, but we don't know when.
Okay.
Like I have a show called Middlehood coming out. And then I have a movie called The Curse of the Clown Motel.
I that's the one I want to see.
And now there's a new Saw movie coming out, and I'm not in it, but Tobin Bell's in it, who I worked with. Right.
So Tobin, okay, so the new Saw movie is like it's not a prequel, but I saw that, no pun intended, that it takes place between 1 and 2. So he's still alive in the movie that they're doing, because he died, spoiler alert, but then he was still killing people in the later movies. They all kind of meshed together. I loved Saw series. It got a little out of hand towards the end. But
I just like Tobin Bell was the coolest, nicest guy I've ever worked with.
Really?
He was so sweet, and we were filming in like a little haunted place.
This is the one with Snoop Dogg too, right?
A different movie.
Different movie.
This is the Snoop Dogg one came out like 2 years ago. This one hasn't come out yet.
But this is the real place, the Clown Motel. It's in like Nevada somewhere, right?
Tonopah, Nevada.
Okay, it's still there. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
But that you don't know when that's coming out.
I don't know when it's coming. I'm hoping Halloween. They've pushed it so many times. It's going to be a good movie.
Where's it going to be?
Oh, Romeo Miller was in it too. I don't know. We don't know yet. That's probably what they're waiting on. Like,
is that Little Romeo?
Yeah.
But now his name is Romeo Miller?
Yeah. Like that's his real name. Okay. I guess. Yeah, he was cool too. I worked with, and then Richard Grieco.
Richard Grieco.
I worked with him too on the movie. There was a lot of people on that movie.
You don't remember how big he was?
No, I didn't. But he was nice.
He was a heartthrob. Him and Johnny Depp were like right here.
Yeah, he's so sweet. He follows me on Instagram.
No way.
Yeah.
Richard Grieco. You should watch Night at the Roxbury.
That's what I heard. I've heard that.
He has a really funny role in there. Well, Juliana, I'm going to put your info in the show notes so people can look out for any movies. See her movies. She's just go to her IMDb, and there's probably a Lifetime movie for you on there.
Yep. And it's Shark Week coming up, so I'm in a shark movie that we'll be playing a lot.
She's in a shark movie as well. She's one of my favorite people. She does stand up all over LA, and wherever we're gonna get you on the road a little bit too. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I love that.
And probably do some shows with me. Anyway, if you're listening to this, what day is it today? I'm gonna be down in San Diego this weekend at Comedy Heights. And then next weekend, I'm going to be at the House of Comedy in Phoenix, August 10th through 13th. And I think that's good for right now. I mean, I guess I'll be at the Comedy House in Columbia, South Carolina, this 18th and 19th. And that's where you guys can, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave me a review, rate it, subscribe, all those things. Same thing on Spotify. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.